Fernando Araujo lives a decent life as an artist and a judo instructor. However, he's not satisfied and thinks that he's still on the lookout for his calling. One night on his way back home, he stops for a smoke as it rains heavily. After Fernando is done, he discards the cigarette, which slowly drifts away, and falls into a sewer near the Banco Rio. Curious, he goes down the sewer, and suddenly a crazy idea crosses his mind. The following day, Fernando goes to meet his civil engineer friend Sebastian and proposes the idea of robbing the bank. It turns out, Sebastian is financially struggling, so he's open to the idea, but he estimates that the plan would require cars, tools, and lots of money. Therefore, Fernando starts looking for a funder and meets his other friend named Daboza. Unfortunately, the latter is also short on money, so he suggests Fernando go to his thief friend, Mario. The scene then cuts to Mario, who breaks into an office at night and immaculately steals money from a safe. He doesn't even appear worried throughout the ordeal, indicating that minor robberies like these are a piece of cake for him. The next day, Fernando meets Mario at a cafe and explains his idea. The master thief is initially disinterested, but Fernando convinces him by saying that if they pull off the heist, he would never have to steal again. Fernando then drives him to the same location and lowers a measuring tape inside the manhole, right outside the bank. He also takes Mario down to the sewers to find the bottom of the tape. After some calculation, Fernando announces that they are 18 meters away from becoming rich. In the next scene, Fernando, Mario, and Dabuza gather to discuss the heist further. They intend to build a tunnel into the bank, but every room has motion detectors. Fernando claims that movements are not detected by motions. They can only detect temperature changes. He has created a garment out of a sleeping bag that can help them hide their body temperature as a result. The only issue right now is that he is unable to open the bank vault. The following day, the committee makes the decision to conduct additional research. Before he and Sebastian enter the building, Fernando takes shots of the parking area behind the bank. While Fernando snaps photos of the foyer, the latter plays along and pretends to register an account. Unfortunately, he is quickly apprehended and security shows up. Fernando tries to go as soon as he can, but security stops him and takes him to the basement where he will be questioned. Unexpectedly, this was all intended to happen. Fernando takes advantage of the opportunity to inspect the safe deposit box area carefully. Security checks every item he owns, including the camera, but they turn up no evidence, so they reluctantly let him go. The memory card of the camera was later found to have been removed by Fernando, but for some reason, security didn't think anything of it. Later, Fernando and Sebastian use the images and their memories to create a floor layout for the bank. Fernando then devises a scheme to rob the bank while still within the cramped space. They then use a bicycle to estimate the distance between the manhole and the bank by counting how many times the tire turns. Fernando calculates the angle at which they must dig up the tunnel the following day in order to reach the bank using his geometry expertise. Additionally, it is revealed that the money the group plans to take is insured, ensuring that no one besides the bank would suffer a loss as a result of them. Fernando and the others enter the sewer later that evening and begin excavating the tunnel. The next day they employ Alberto, another man, to take care of the getaway vehicle. The group and Fernando have yet to discover how to access 400 lockers. They first think of using a blowtorch, but that would take them an additional 1.5 minutes per box for a total of 7 hours. Fernando advises renting a locker and carefully examining it as a result, but from a different bank branch. The following day, Mario hires a safety deposit box from a different branch of the same bank. He carefully monitors the lock while he opens it. Then, Mario and his companions steal a getaway van and wait outside Alberto's house for him. They are confronted by cops shortly after that. The pair becomes terrified that they will be apprehended. Fortunately, Alberto and his wife show up and introduce themselves to the policemen as friends. The group keeps on excavating the tunnel until they have an accident one day. Fernando disregards the incident and intends to get a new drill. Mario, who has already put a lot of money into the project, is enraged by this. Fernando sees his fiancée later that evening and the two of them watch the stars together. As it takes years for light to reach Earth, they discuss how they view the past of the stars. Thought to be present, they have now vanished. Fernando instantly gets an idea from this and runs over to Mario's house. He is informed by Fernando that he has discovered the answer. Although the security procedures are different, he claims that the bank is effectively protected both when it is open and closed. The bank has effective security systems in place to stop cash theft and effective procedures to stop tunnel robberies. They lack a strategy to keep them from occurring simultaneously, though. During business hours when the safety vault is open, Fernando intends to enter the bank from the front to dodge the alarm and motion sensors. This will give the police the idea that they are minor thieves looking for little amounts of money. Fernando wants everyone to think that they intend to go by the front door so that the police won't even think to look for a subterranean exit. Mario is thrilled to hear all of this, and he completely adores the concept. You learned all that by stargazing, man? The action then shifts to the heists day. To cover up their fingerprints, everyone applies glue to their fingertips. While Fernando and the others enter the bank in disguise before donning their masks, Sebastian is dumped off beside the sewer and goes inside to do his work. After a short while, Mario and Bowser. They draw their rifles and command everyone to lie down. From the CCTV room, a security guard observes it and promptly calls the police. Fernando is then shown to be listening in on conversations via his walkie-talkie. Alberto walks to secure the parking gate while Mario instructs the cashier to place the money in a bag. When the police show up there, Fernando is holding a bystander at gunpoint. The individual is then threatened with execution if the police attempt to attack the bank. After that, Fernando goes back inside to let his friends know that the first stage is over. Upon hearing this, Mario immediately holds a woman at gunpoint and issues a command to the security officer in the CCTV room to turn himself in. The guard reluctantly agrees, but Mario takes his phone and rifle magazine before letting him go outside. The group then turns off all of the cameras in the bank. Fernando moves a cupboard in the little room. Sebastian breaches the wall from the opposite side and makes his way into the bank through the tunnel. The two then go to the vault, get some supplies from their car, and begin putting the gadget together. Then, in a flashback, it is revealed that Sebastian had created a cannon-powered device that can open the lock in 7 seconds. Then, when Sebastian and Fernando proceed to raid all the lockers, everyone starts a timer on their watches. Outside the bank, the police, the press, and the hostage-takers' family members assemble. Speaking with the security officer, the police captain learns more about the scenario inside. While still breaking into the lockers elsewhere, Fernando and Sebastian hear the police suddenly ascending to the roof. Mario then receives a call from the captain on the guard's phone that he had earlier taken. In a flashback, it becomes clear that Fernando had likewise planned for this eventuality and had made Mario practice negotiating. "Never do it! Okay, I'll go." Mario converses with the captain back in the present. "I'm going to bargain!" and commands him to withdraw all of the troops from the terrace while threatening to kill the bystanders. "I'll carry it out." The captain agrees, but he secretly deploys 2 snipers on the adjacent structure. Upon being questioned about his demands, Mario replies that he wants to talk with the district attorney. The captain grants his request and asks for 1 hour of his time. Sebastian and Fernando, meantime, have already unlocked numerous lockers, recovering massive amounts of cash, gold, and other priceless jewelry. The police evaluate the circumstances outside. There are just 2 entrances to the bank, from the parking lot and the entrance gate. They have no knowledge of where the hostages are, though. They also come to the conclusion that it was just a burglary attempt. After some time, the captain calls Mario again and requests that he turn himself in. He claims that because the burglars have not yet injured anyone, they will receive a reduced punishment. Additionally, the captain offers to locate him a lawyer. In response, Mario says he will talk to his friends about it. While the police hopelessly stand outside, Fernando and Sebastian break into additional lockers. It's then revealed that the old hostage's birthday is today as her phone starts to ring. "Happy birthday, Yet stop talking or I'll murder you." Mario then wishes her a happy birthday as Deboza presents her a chocolate that was taken from a captive. The snipers see them celebrate the woman's birthday and surprise the captain by telling him what they saw. In the meantime, as a birthday present, and because her name was Peach, Mario releases the woman. Leaning against a window, he then informs the captain that he has served 15 years in prison and that he will only turn himself in if the district attorney guarantees him a reduced sentence. When the captain hears this, he tells the shooter to back off, and Mario leaves the window. He was actually testing whether the police would shoot him, it is eventually revealed. Soon after, Mario has a conversation with the DA. Surprisingly, the latter begins cursing at the DA and walks away from the conversation. Then Mario requests to consult with his attorney. However, Mario gives the captain a hostage's phone number when he requests the lawyer's contact information. He then switches phones and addresses the DA as his fictitious attorney. He buys additional time for his allies. Mario then sequesters all of the prisoners on the first floor, as Fernando and the others begin moving their booty through the tunnel. Mario then turns off his phone, causing the manhole to be the first thing we notice. And he realizes the robbers have a backup plan for getting away. Fernando leaves all the firearms in the vault for the cops, after putting the booty into the boats. The guns are subsequently shown to be children's toys in a flashback, since Fernando didn't want to harm any innocent people. Mario eventually departs from the hostages on the ground floor and joins Fernando in the little space. All the terrified captives pick up their phones and call their loved ones outside as soon as he does. Another squad is sent into the sewer by the captain, while another one charges the bank from the front. Fernando and Mario hastily remove any traces from the tunnel before boarding the boat with the rest. Fernando had also expected the police learning about the sewer, according to a different flashback. Consequently, they had already constructed a dam to raise the water's level, allowing them to use a speedboat to travel in the opposite direction. What? The captain continues on, and ultimately comes to the tunnel opening, where a bomb has blocked the entrance. He quickly discovers that the explosives and the guns are fake, though. Unfortunately for the captain, it's already too late, because the robbers got away. Fernando and the crew smash all of their equipment while driving away from the area in their getaway car. After that, they go to Alberto's home and divide up the loot equally. Now, after a few months have passed, the group seems to be having the time of their lives. Alberto's wife discovers him cheating on her one day. She becomes so enraged by this that she calls the police and names him as a suspect in the bank robbery. Man, hell has no fury. As a result, each thief is apprehended individually. Alberto is unable to keep the file compressed. Once more, the film jumps forward in time by 7 months. Fernando gets let out of jail and Mario drives his posh car to pick him up. Fernando had also made plans in case they were discovered. It is subsequently revealed. He deliberately advised that they use toy weapons in order to avoid injuring anyone and receive lower penalties. Due to the fact that the bank doesn't keep track of the cash and other goods placed in the safety deposit boxes, Fernando and the other thieves also get to keep a sizable percentage of their plunder. The police only found 17 million and 8 kilograms of jewelry, despite the bank estimating that the lockers held 25 million worth of cash and jewelry. The police were unable to build a solid case against the offenders, and they got away with merely a slap because there was no official record of the contents in the lockers. For more content like this, subscribe. To support the channel, enable alerts and click the like button.